Hello, welcome back, everyone. We got an exciting run coming up for you. We got Landstalker. We did just get a $10 donation from Anonymous saying, Dog Dungeon, I'm donating. You can too, chat. So, you know what to do. So this is going to be Landstalker with LadyErianna. Harry, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Alice. And hello and welcome to Power Up with Pride. My name's LadyErianna. You might remember me from such speedruns as Alf and Alf 2 Kitten Cooking Catastrophe. Uh, we're going to run Landstalker today, which has no relevance to Alf, but it may remind you of some other games out there. With me, I have my wonderful friend and co-commentator, Poorly Drawn Bees. I swear I could get your name right one of these days, Emily. Say hello.
Those are all very common words. I am hurt, but also,
Oh,
hey, I'm happy to be here.
Bees is not that common. Can't be right.
But yes, I'm excited to be here today as well. This game is Landstalker. This is where you give us money and you get to see a dog. That is a hint, by the way. Feel free to hit that donate page.
Yeah, so basically as soon as I start, you got like 30 minutes before I need to cut off for Dog Dungeon. So get those donations and you don't want to miss Dog Dungeon. I also want to do Dog Dungeon because hey, as a little secret to everybody, if you donate for Dog Dungeon, you get bonus Tree Dungeon too, and I'll explain that one at some point as well. So, but yeah, without further ado, Emily, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's kick this thing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right, so this is the most insane part of the speed run. We are starting with a 3.5 minute cutscene, baby. Let's go.
3.5 minutes, and yeah, this game definitely inspired some other games that you might recognize. Blonde elf with who wears green, has a sword. Can you think of anybody at all that resembles this?
Nope.
No, I can't link that one up to me. I just don't know. So yes, this is Landstalker, a game directly inspired by Newtopia, but it did inspire other great games like The Legend of Zelda, especially the original Legend of Zelda, and I'll explain that one why as well. And yes, you may be wondering, well, this game came out in '93, Zelda came out in '87. How did that inspire Zelda? It's like, hey, if Marty McFly can go back to 1955 and inspire Chuck Berry to sing Johnny Be Good, this works.
You know what doesn't work? You know
What
what doesn't
doesn't
work? The name of the protagonist in this game. I know,
Yes.
it's been 30 seconds. I need to... What is the name of the protagonist in this game?
It's Nigel.
Okay.
Except I played the Japanese version, which I think is technically Lyle. Which,
Lyle,
if any
yeah.
Fantasy Star 3 fans out there, we don't like Lyle.
Okay, there's Lyle and
In Japanese.
Ryle. So they couldn't agree
Ryle,
on the name.
Lyle, yeah, it is what it is.
Right.
Anyways, Nigel is a treasure hunter. This whole cutscene is basically him getting a statue and giving it to this old man, getting 2,000 gold. And all of a sudden, we have Not Navi showing up and saying, "Hey, I'm being chased by these three goons, and because I've seen the treasures of King Nole." Yeah, basically, we are. Now we have the information of where the treasures of the King Nole are. This great treasure. It's huge, but
So the most skill-based part of this game right now, are you mashing through the cutscene or is it playing automatically?
this is playing automatically. I could give you this controller, and you could basically get through the first 3.5 minutes.
I am literally in another country. That's not possible.
Hey, this brand new controller's got a pretty long cord. It might work.
Also custom.
All right.
But anyway, okay.
I guess I'm gonna have to get Taco Cat in here.
Let's go back to this Nigel thing, okay? Nigel is a terrible name for a hero. Like, what famous characters can you think of named Nigel? Like,
Thornberry?
Nigel Thornberry, which, I don't know, I've never watched that show. Maybe he's a hero, maybe he's a villain, whatever. The second most famous fictional Nigel, like, the middle manager from the Drew Carey show. Yes, entertainment before the internet was rough. Thank you for asking. I don't know. This is a terrible
you're really dating yourself there. Also, shout outs to just standing on a giant bird with goggles on. That's the mode of transportation. That's the only way to get to the treasure. So Nigel had to pay his 2,000 gold to get this ride to the island where the treasure is. And Nigel, you're gonna find out he's the most confident man in the world.
Can I just say,
holding on to the feathers. That's so unsafe.
I know, right?
If there's one thing this game needs more of, it's that bird.
Exactly. That is like, as a bird myself, this needs more bird. So at this point, I'm actually holding up and right because this will just start as soon as this dialogue's over. And there we go. We can actually
There
move
we
now.
go.
So not Navi. Her name is Friday, and she's basically Navi. So that's all you need to know. We're playing the Japanese version, so you're not going to know what I'm getting, but this is what's known as a life stock. So think of it like a heart container. Except it's better than a heart container because the more life stocks I have, the more damage I do. And we kind of want that, but we don't want too much because it takes too much time.
It's also worth pointing out that unlike Navi, Friday is actually very useful in this game.
Yeah, hopefully
revives you and does other things too.
Well, she revives. That's a very good thing. So you may see right up by my life count, there is like a little bag of it's something that says 0. Oh my god, there's a boulder. I better run. I better run. You know what? I gotta check my time. Oh, hi. Unlike Indiana Jones, Nigel can stop boulders.
We do love a good cutscene boulder in this house.
We do. And at the same time, there will be a lot of boulders that we will run into. However, that's the only one that does not hurt us.
We are
going to
gonna
stop and tie my
beat
shoe there.
We are going to beat the crap out of Nigel during this run. Like,
Oh,
he
yes.
deserves it.
I'm going to be taking as many safeties as possible. But anyways, back on that little bag icon with a 0, that is our e-geek count. E-geeks are basically herbs, and they heal me for about 50% of my max HP. And I can use them manually through the menu, or if my HP reaches 0, Friday will use it and revive me. So we're going to take a few safeties.
Yeah,
we're going to actually grab one here.
We're going to come up to one of the hardest tricks of the run. This is one of those games that front loads one of the harder tricks. I'll let Ariana explain it, and then I can be very upset.
So in honor of Dog Dungeon, we have the hardest trick in the game right here, which we're just going to stand up on you, and you're not cooperating today. There we go. We're picking up Dog, and we're... Oh my god, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, it happened twice. Oh my god.
So yeah, here we have to pick up the dog and throw it on top of the statue to get a treasure chest. And when Ariana was explaining this to me, she mentioned that picking up the dog is a frame-perfect trick, which is one of my most hated sentences in the English language, because picking up a dog should never be a frame-perfect trick. I can see picking up a cat being a frame-perfect trick. Those things are skittish sometimes, but no, not dogs.
The fact that I just threw that dog and gets a statue twice, that is like my worst fear when I'm actually speedrunning this game, is just bonking that dog. And the dog didn't care. It just still has that smiling face like, hee hee, we're gonna find out, especially if we get Dog Dungeon. Dogs are immortal, they're invincible, and they're just wonderful beings. So,
Oh yes, that's another reason you need to donate, because the dog is the happiest dog you will ever see on the Sega Genesis.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, we actually have combat now.
I like to think that when Nigel becomes a dog, he also changes his name to something cooler too.
That's true.
Also,
So,
hey, shoutouts to Bubbles making noises when you hit them.
Yeah, this is a Trailer Park Boys, so Bubbles doesn't make noise when you hit him. Well, maybe he does, I don't know.
Oh, he definitely does.
Probably.
I'm from the city, I know.
Alright, so this is the Waterfall Shrine. First dungeon in the game. I did what's known as a bubble skip. And to basically what I did there, I took some damage. Anything that moves in this game has a hitbox and you can stand on it. So that's what I did. I took some damage from the bubble. I used my iframes to jump on it and to skip having to find a key, hit a button, and open up those golem statues to let me pass. So
yes,
we're going to be doing that a lot.
Yeah, one of the things that makes this game an extremely interesting speedrun to watch is that there is a lot of health management because it is damage boosting the game. So you have to constantly reevaluate your route on the run. determine if you have enough health to get through the next section, if you can afford to take the shortcut or not. Lots of like little micro decisions as you're running along here.
And speaking of keys, we're actually going to pick up the key anyway, because much like in the original Zelda, keys are universal and they can be used on any door. So we're picking up that key. We're actually going to have that key to use in the next dungeon, which will allow us a little bit of a sequence break. There's another E-Geek, so we got 10 coming out of here, and I took one extra hit, which I'm not happy with, but I always end up with 7 out of 10 and coming out of here for some reason. But yeah, that's Waterfall Shrine.
Wasn't your old route 6 out of 9 coming out of here?
What was that?
Well, didn't your old route have you at 6 out of 9 coming out of that dungeon?
I always have 6 out of 9 coming out of that, but until I get the last, it's not even so much the last route, I just accidentally take one extra hit. Because, believe it or not, I'm not that great a player of this game.
You're only number 3 in the leaderboards.
Yeah, 3 out of 7, which I suppose is still an accomplishment. Anyways, we have to come back here, and the mayor, who also looks like the guard, they're cousins, I think, basically just said, yeah, the neighboring tribe just came in and kidnapped my daughter, and the guard just stood there and did nothing about it. So, can you go rescue her? It's like, we're treasure hunter, we're not hero. And you got to keep that in mind, too, is that Nigel, he doesn't care. So, and that'll become obvious when we get to Verla. So I'm killing Bubbles and anything here for 2 reasons. I do need some gold, because I do need to buy 3 livestocks in the game. Also, there are some enemies that will actually drop E-Gates. And especially in the early game, I'm going to probably need as many as I can. Especially for safety. And I'll probably actually pick up a couple safety ones. Just because.
How many livestocks do you usually wind up with at the end of a run?
Lately I've been ending up with 58. The world record does 59. And there's a couple livestocks that are really difficult to get, which I may or may not attempt to get, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, we reach the neighboring village, and there's the princess, and they're going to sacrifice her to the Orc Kings. Shoutouts to any orcs out there. I know Queen Peels is listening to this, so. Also, I swear, we're never going to see this guy again. This is Pockets. He is a rival treasure hunter. We're never going to see him again. Also, shoutouts to another dog.
Also, why is that chicken so fast?
Red Bull.
Okay.
It has some Red Bull, and you know, that's my only reason. We got to pick up this conveniently placed statue, which is going to allow us into the next dungeon where they're sacrificing this girl to the orc lords, gods, things. Please, I need some luck. When I was practicing, I got like 2 E-Geek drops in a row, and now I'm not going to get any because this game. Mushroom, please stay out of my way. No, mushroom! Stupid Bubbles. I'm going to probably just like shout random things to this game. Also,
yes,
random isometric stare, which you'll never find otherwise.
Yes, if you ever played that one part in Super Mario RPG where you're doing the puzzles in the pirate ship, and one of them is that 3D isometric puzzle maze thing, you're going to see a lot of that in this run.
Oh yeah, this game it's notoriously frustrating, mostly for the controls, but also because there is a lot of isometric stuff that you have to kind of search for, but you wouldn't know to normally look for it. So,
yeah, I remember
right.
trying out the randomizer for this game, and thankfully the randomizer for this game has one of the best trackers I've ever seen for any randomizer, which is fantastic, because it's not the easiest game to follow otherwise. Totally worth it.
Alright, speaking of balls, we're going for a ride on one, just to get over that door. So I played, this is one of the other reasons I played the JP version, although this can actually be done in the US version as well. Doors are just suggestions. They don't really matter in this game. How did I not get hit by that? Wow.
Yeah, for whatever reason, doors have hitboxes, and they don't extend all the way to the ceiling like every other video game in existence, and that's amazing.
Yes, and in this particular version, doors, you can phase through them, and I'll be showing that trick a time or two as well, especially at the end of this dungeon. That they literally just are suggestions. and we're going to use that to our advantage in many cases. They fixed a lot of that in the US version, and in order to get some of the same tricks, you actually have to do what's called a gold bag jump. I'm actually going to pop into here to grab this e-geek. I never grabbed this in a PB attempt, but we want to finish this run today, so I'm using whatever safeties I can get. And I'm probably going to be grabbing more e-geeks than I should. For every chest I get, it costs 3 seconds, so I definitely don't want to grab too many in the sake of time, but, you know, for the sake of finishing a run for a marathon, I'm going to probably be grabbing as many safeties as I can.
Right, because you were saying earlier, usually you have 2 or 3 before you even enter this dungeon. And
ideally, yes, especially if I can get some lucky drops. I don't know why I'm fighting you. This is a room I don't need to.
So what you're seeing here is an excellent example of how the RNG from different item drops and stuff, and also managing your health, does affect the routing in a course of a run.
Yeah, and the orcs and the bubbles have a 1 in 64 chance of dropping dropping an e-geek. So, and the thing is that one thing about the monsters in this game, every monster when you kill them will drop either an item or a bag of gold. The bags of gold and items can be picked up by other monsters, and if they pick up the gold, then when you kill that monster, whatever gold they picked up, you'll also be able to get as well, so it'll be accumulative. However, if they pick up one of your items, it's gone.
It's just rude.
So, and I've had that happen so many times as well, where I would have an e-geek drop, and one of the other monsters would just pick it up, and I would be sad. That is sad times. I'm actually going to go ahead and use an e-geek here. It's quicker to actually use one than to have Friday revive me. That is not a damage boost I want to take. That is definitely not a damage boost I want to take. I just got this new controller too, so it should be working better than this.
So for those who aren't familiar with this game, e-geeks are healing items that were kind of like the fairies from the Zelda games, where you can use them as items, but also if you get knocked out while you have one in your inventory, it gets used automatically to a lesser effect.
I never put the 2 and 2 together that the e-geeks here inspired the fairies in Legend of Zelda. I should have known that. It inspired a lot of things about that game. I got balled. So
I mean, one thing this game does do better than Zelda is the Navi character, which probably was inspired by this since this actually came out before Ocarina of Time.
Well, it inspired the original Legend of Zelda too. I keep telling you that.
And you keep being wrong, but sure.
Excuse me? I don't recall being wrong.
I know, we didn't talk about this in rehearsal. I'm going to talk about it right now.
Oh.
You can't just make it out without evidence.
Gosh darn it, Emily. All right, so we got a lag room here. I'm probably gonna end up having to use a second e-geek before I get to the next room, because I do need to do some damage boosting. And at 1 HP, you really can't damage boost a whole lot. You get hit, you're dead. That's kind of how 1 HP works.
And then you get the e-geek cutscene, which, if I remember correctly, that has flashing lights, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So you want to avoid that just for the sake of not, losing your eyesight.
Yeah, there are a couple occasions where taking the death is actually more ideal, especially in the later parts of the game. I'm going to go ahead and use one right here. And we're going to come up on the first instance of door skip. So I'm going to line up right here, slash these two, and I'm going to get right in the hitbox of that orc. And of course, it's not going to work now. Please just knock me through. Oh my god, this is actually bad. I'm on the wrong pixel.
Now you're just fucking. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
We'll get there. There. That was like 3 damage boosts for the price of 1.
Yeah, and now look at it though.
Also, I see someone asking in the chat if we reached the incentive yet. We are over 75% of the way to the best dungeon in the game, so if you want to throw down some dollars to see some dogs, now is a fantastic time to do so.
So I'm kind of sweating bullets right now because I have no e-geeks and I have 4 health. And yeah, so I basically kind of had to brute force my way through that one. So I'm going to actually take this a little bit on the safer side and try to... there is a place I can get one more e-geek, but I got to be really safe. Thankfully, there is one more livestock here. And that mushroom got up way too fast. I'm killing some extra orcs so they can possibly drop one, but I can probably take one more hit But again, I'm going to play it safe because, again, if I game over, I don't have a save. Although I do have a save on a particular cartridge / save file, because I am playing this on a flash card on an actual console. There's an e-geek. We're safe for a little bit. So the reason
Not gonna lie, I was kind of rooting for the run to fail there for a second because I'm a friend.
Oh. So the reason we actually come to this part, normally you actually come to this part first to get a key and move on, but we had a spare key, so we kind of just, skipped a section. We're at a livestock count now where we can actually kill white bubbles in 1 hit and blue bubbles in 2 hits. Whereas when we started the dungeon, if we had come in there, it would have taken us 3 and 2 to kill each of them. Mushrooms also get up at random times, and I don't like it. Also, can I get the swag kill? Swag kill. Heck yeah, let's go. All right, so I was gonna try and do another door skip in this room, but with 1 e-geek, no. My money count's a little high though, so I think what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna buy the livestock in Masan rather than Gummy. Gummy's the second village we went to, by the way. I'm kind of skipping lore because it's a speed run.
So you're kind of skipping lore because it's Japanese, and at least 95% of us can't read it, so...
Yeah, basically. And so we rescued the princess, we're a hero, all that. And unlike another, blonde elf who wears a green tunic and everything, we actually did it at the beginning of the game. So our quest is over, right? No, of course not. It's not.
I could tell you about a different quest that's over.
Oh, what's another quest that's over?
We have met Dog Dungeon.
Oh, heck yes, let's go. Thank you everybody for making Dog Dungeon possible. I hope I won't disappoint with that, but it's you've made my day. I appreciate it so much. Thank you all.
The good doggo never disappoints. Believe in yourself, Ari.
Yes.
Would you like me to read off some of these lovely donations that got us there?
Absolutely, we got some time.
All right, so we got $25 from Neon Gray saying, we have to pet the dogs with swords. Okay, thank you.
That is one way to do it.
We got $3.33 from Windbliss saying, wait, this isn't Alf, this is Elf? Close enough. Nico says trans rights.
Trans rights, let's go.
Trans rights. And we got $50, like just a minute ago, from Grace Horizon, saying, although I prefer cats, I'm a sucker for optional dungeons. You know what? Valid. Thank you all so much for those.
Again, thank you all so very much.
Thank you all.
It warms my heart to know that incentive got met. And we're going to be doing Dog Dungeon, which, because we're doing Dog Dungeon, we're also going to be doing Bonus Tree Dungeon. And I'll explain that one in a little bit. We're going to do that after the next dungeon, though. By the way, I have still not had a lucky e-geek drop yet. Is that what marathon luck is like?
It definitely is. Also, going back to earlier donations for a second there, just a little bit of life advice for everyone watching. Please do not approach somebody's dog with a sword. It does not go over well.
I also don't suggest tossing a dog either. Dogs are not meant to be tossed, only in this game where they are immortal and worshipped.
And handled by trained professionals.
Yes, like me, who ended up throwing it against the statue twice before I got the trick to work.
Dog was unscathed. It's fine.
Exactly. Dog was happy about it. So the town of Gubby's fine. This is normally where I would actually get the livestock, but it's a little bit more expensive. I end up getting it in Masan, which... There's my lucky e-geek drop. There's one. Of course, I get it in after I buy 2, which I usually... I'll usually go ahead and just buy 1. If I have to take the Masan livestock, my money count was actually really high for some reason. I don't know why, but
we do love money grinding during a speed run. It's the best.
We do. I wasn't even trying to money grind. I think I just took extra kills for safety, and I ended up with some extra money. So we're coming up on a mountain, which casual runners will know that at the top of this mountain is a guy who gives you your first sword upgrade, the magic sword. Yeah, we don't. It's what the magic sword does. If you notice in the upper left corner of the screen, there's like a little black sword icon. When you have a magical sword, that will over time charge up, and when it reaches a full charge, you can unleash a magical attack, which does double your damage. So obviously that sword would be another. Wow, there's two. Now they're showing up. So you would think the magical sword would actually be a really good thing, but you know what? We're not getting it, and we're not even going to go back there. We don't need it. I swear we're never going to see that sword.
So, the other day I was reading this thing where someone pointed out that, like, the Sega Genesis in general had all these, like, beautiful color palettes, and then Sonic 3 came out, and now, like, after Sonic 3, every game just became orange, and I can't get that out of my head now. This game has so much orange.
So, hey, I think there's a lot of greed in this, too, but anyways,
There's
we're at the town... We're in the town of Ryuma now, and the mayor got kidnapped. Unlike the last town where the daughter got kidnapped, at least the mayor took the bullet on this one. And they're like, "Hey, could you save her?" I was like, "I'm a treasure hunter." Oh, by the way, these three have caught up to us. They sailed here by raft from the mainland, and they're like, "Hey, we caught you. We're gonna get you now." The current's a little too strong, though. I'm sure we're never gonna see them again. So we're coming up on Thieves' Hideout now. Thunder Sword does about 3 times damage, I believe, Windless. Unfortunately, we're never going to see that one. In an all-equipment run, but not in this one.
So someone's talking to chat about how you're making this game look easier than it actually is, and I can confirm that is the case. Like, Erianna is really great at this game. I tried to play this game. It's probably one of 3 or 4 games in my entire life that I, like, rage quit on. Like, it's a good game, but it ain't an easy one.
Yeah, I've seen people play this, and it's, especially playing it blind for the first time, it's very... There's 3, okay. Now they're all showing up. It's like, I'm plenty safe now. I even grabbed the one I never grabbed. It's like, I was like clenching so hard at Swamp Shrine, which is where I normally clench anyway, because it's like, it's such a scary dungeon to go through in this game. We're gonna damage boost through this. And I'm gonna grab these two as well, because again, I am gonna just keep that maxed out. I want this run to finish. Let's see if I can actually time this one right. Nope, of course not. I was hoping I can get through without using one of these, but it's fine. If I actually get a drop... So if you're actually at 9, 9 is the cap. If you get a drop, it will basically just eat it. So we're just going to use the healing. Also, there's a flashing screen coming up as soon as I touch the statue.
Speaking of which, are you eating them?
Yeah, you know, eating them, rubbing the thorns on your back or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't say back because he's got a pretty good backpack on him, but... And we're going to fall through here, and of course I hit the spikes. I missed that one just a little bit. So, Thieves' Hideout is actually one of my favorite dungeons to actually play in this speed run, and it's got some really cool platforming in it that it really... when it's done right, it looks really cool. When it's done by me, because I'm bound to mess it up. I haven't practiced this in a day or two, so I'm bound to mess it up.
Didn't you PB like yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Also, I have 2 spare keys now, so we're doing some sequence breaking. Normally, you actually have to go in a couple spots, and you actually have to go down to the bottom, get 1 key, come back up to unlock that first door, and then go to the place where I'm going to go after this. And, yeah, I don't know why I grabbed that money. I really don't need it. But because we have 2 spare keys, we're kind of just... Sorry, I needed a drink. We're kind of just doing the important stuff first. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and hey, look there. There's the mayor. So we rescue the mayor. We get a little livestock here.
I do love that the boss fights in this game alternate between like sincerely hard or just jump and slash 7 times.
Absolutely. So we get a little cutscene here. We picked up an item called the lithograph, which basically tells us the location of the 5 jewels that are needed to find King Nole's treasure. However, we were followed, and Friday's about to be a snack unless we hand over the lithograph. But so the lithograph tells us the location. After we rescued the princess from in Masan, we were actually given the red jewel. So it's one of the 5 jewels that are required to open the portal to King Nole's labyrinth and get the treasure. We're only going to be seeing 2 of those, and not because this is a speed run. It's spoiler alert. That's all you end up getting in the game is 2 anyway.
You can still collect the other 3, right?
What was that?
Can you still collect the other 3?
In Rando, you can. There's actually an objective in Rando. All right, so coming up is my favorite part.
See, like that room there, like you just blitzed through it like it was nothing. It took me 7 tries to clear that room in my first time.
Oh, I missed the other jump though. I was trying the other skip, but I can show it when I go back up there. Hey, if you blinked last time, you get to see it again. So let's see it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1. Then jump
Just
across, jump up.
This time.
Oh yeah. There we go. That's the skip that I was trying to get. You 2 are not lining. I hate when they line up right in front of each other because that way you can only hit 1 at a time. We try and get as many enemies grouped up together as possible because Nigel has a really wide sword swing. And he can hit multiple enemies at the same time. And we try and do that to limit the amount of sword swings we need to take. And also, when we can help it, we do jump slashes because if Nigel's standing on the ground and he slashes, he just stands still. I almost used that gold statue. I would have been very sad if I used that. Using that E-Geek there because there was one there, and I just decided to take the heal. Because I'm already capped out, thanks to, I think I had 3 lucky E-Geeks right now.
Yeah, speaking of Nigel's sword swings, like there's just something about his sword attacks in this game that just are like more visceral than other action RPGs of its time. It's really interesting to look at.
Speaking of interesting to look at, Nigel has the most confident walk cycle animation of anybody ever.
That's what happens when you're an 80-year-old elf named Nigel, I guess.
That's right. By the way, Nigel is 80 years old. 80 or 80 plus or something like that. And that's going to come into play later. That is definitely coming into play a little bit later.
I mean, you said 80, but isn't that like 7 in elf years?
Yeah, 17 maybe. I don't know. I'm a dwarf, not an elf, so the only thing I do is dig holes.
So you're about to become a dog. What does your age become then?
Let's see. We multiply 80 divided by like 3. Carry the divisor. Multiply by 7. Take the square root of the isosceles triangle of. You know what? Math is hard.
So about 5, if my math is correct.
Yes, we'll go with that. That was the other key. I just grabbed the other key that I was supposed to get. So that's an E-Geek there. We're at full health. There's no point in getting it.
So regarding a question in chat that just came up, talking about picking up the rando without playing vanilla, the tracker that comes with this game is one of the most comprehensive trackers I've ever come with, to the point that if there's a key item location, there's actually links in the tracker that show you guides on how to get that particular check. It's a very comprehensive thing. Most people who played this rando have never played vanilla and can deal with it and play through it just fine.
Yeah, the big thing is that in many cases, this game is definitely something that was designed for the Sega Genesis, especially with how the D-pad is. How the D-pad is on the Genesis. I've played this on the Wii. I've played on the Switch. I've played on a bunch of different consoles, and especially Nintendo consoles, and they all control really bad to me, and they're almost in some cases impossible.
Also, Ariana,
Yes.
You can tell this game was made for the Sega Genesis because of how orange it is.
Gosh darn it, Emily. Also, because we donated for a Dog Dungeon, we get Tree Dungeon. Also, shout outs to Mini Ghost, our run from the last one. Oh my god, they're all over me. Gauntlet Ghost, get out of the way. So yeah, shout out to Mini Ghost. Because we got a lot of them here.
By the way,
here we go with the orange again. Gosh darn it, I can't unsee it now.
I know, right?
I'm gonna have to just change the settings on this.
Like the next time you work on a, so Ariana also programs the randomizer for Phantasy Star 4, and the next time she works on it, she's going to see the orange.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna see the orange. All right, we got enough geeks. We're gonna actually do a little bit of a skip here. Remember what I said earlier that if it moves, you can stand on it. Yeah, so that's basically what I did. So we're skipping a big part of this dungeon, just by doing that ball skip there.
There's some dungeons where Ariana's gonna jump on like spike balls more than actual platforms.
Oh yeah, we got Mir's Tower coming up, and that's a big damage boost section. Wow, I mistimed that one. Flashing screen. So that's what I wanted to stay away from. Wow, Ari,
Wow,
have you ever played?
suspicious.
Okay, so I've only ever, I think, done this dungeon like 3 or 4 times. I didn't even practice it all that much for this because reasons. So the reason we do the tree dungeon is throughout the game there are actually smaller trees, and they act as warp points between certain areas of the game. And this one actually takes us towards the first town. Excuse me. The tree that's near this one will warp us to the towards the first town. There are a few things you have to know. You actually have to beat the tree dungeon first, and you actually have to enter both sides of the tree. So we've only entered one side, so you notice that tree just was solid. It didn't have anything on it. We'll worry about that one later, but it's actually quicker if we're doing Dog Dungeon to actually do the tree dungeon as well, because it'll actually save us a lot of walking. And it's quicker to do it that way. So yeah, you donate for Dog Dungeon, you're getting bonus tree dungeon.
And to answer a quick question in chat there, saving can only be done in churches, if I remember correctly.
Yep, church is the save your game, not your souls. All right, so we got an item called a safety pass in Ryuma for rescuing the mayor, and that's progression. We need that in order to get into the town of Mercator, the biggest city in the game. We actually have a lot of this is a lot of cutscene and a lot of just running around. We actually need to get into that castle. And so in order to do that, we actually have to talk to those guards and start doing a long sequence. But I'm going to take a little detour. Hey, we have an extra key. And we're not actually supposed to get to this part until a little bit later, and we have to go through a whole nother sequence of things. Yeah, we're just going to go in here now. And we're going to open up the path to another dungeon called Green Maze.
And this is just straight up that one puzzle from Super Mario RPG right there. You even got the little thing at the end.
Oh yeah, exactly. So we opened up the path to Green Maze, but we're not going to go there yet. So we're going to be entering. In order for us to get into the castle, we need to talk to somebody from the castle in order to get in. In order to do that, we have to find him in a dance studio. It's a dance studio in the US version. So that's what I'm going to call it.
And you're going to have to disguise yourself as a younger person to get in, because that makes sense. But I suppose if someone came in and they said their name was Nigel, I'd assume they were lying too.
This is true. So we talked to that woman there, and that triggers this this girl to show up. I believe she's actually the daughter of that knight in red. His name's Arthur. He's saying, yes, I'm going to the dance studio. Tell nobody about this, especially my daughter, who's just right across there. And daughter's like, I've never seen such dishonesty in all my life. So like, right. For some reason, we're gonna, follow this this knight into this dance studio. So we're gonna try to get in again. And we talked to this woman. She says, hey, go to the fortune teller. You're too young to get in. Go to the fortune teller. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So we're gonna go visit the fortune teller, and much like once you hit 18, instant adult. And I told you we were never gonna see Pockets again. For some reason, that's who we are now.
So as we enter the brothel scene here, this is a good time for donations, if I recall correctly.
I was about ready to say that if anyone's played Phantasy Star 3, they know that a mustache makes you an adult. But yes, so this is actually a good time. There's going to be some flashing screens, though, so because Friday's not happy with us for being at a dance studio.
Yeah. So since we met the Dog Dungeon incentive, we have opened up a cool new incentive that I want to tell you all about. So this is one of the incentives that I am most excited about here. This is the Ultima 2 Lord's British Bounty. So if you look at this donation in Tiltify, you'll see that it's $450, but it's actually a 3-for-1 deal. So up to 3 Lords British can be killed. We're going to kill 1 for every $150 that gets met, that goes toward that target. So if that 450 is looking a little intimidating to you, if we just hit 150, we kill Lord British. If we hit just 300, we kill 2 Lords British. If we hit the whole thing, we get to kill 3 Lords British. That's going to be in the Ultima 2 run. That is the run after this. So, yeah. Very cool stuff. We love killing Lord British around here. So, if you want to do that, ! Donate.
Poor guy made a video game and just has to relive his death over and over. Yeesh.
So we're facing the whole thing of that. We're actually going right to Mir's Tower right now. We're actually skipping the crypt, which is a really bad dungeon. What happened is we actually opened up Mercator Castle by talking to Arthur, who for some reason went to a dance studio wearing a shield. I'm guessing he was advised to have protection, and went ahead, went in with a shield. So we're going to go to Mir's Tower. And I need as many e-geeks as possible because Mir's Tower is damage skip, damage boost central, and I need a lot of e-geeks for this. We're going to talk to our friend Papyrus. Of course, that's right. I got an extra an extra livestock. I hit 4 until they only have 1 health left, and we're going to come here. He's going to follow me, and I'm going to stand right here. And we just had an item drop. So we do what's called tree removal glitch, and it gave us the magic sword.
It's one of those things that don't understand on their own.
Right. It's like, yeah, this was totally intended by the original designers. Please stop killing me. Let's hope I can get the skip. Oh, wow, I actually got it first try. So it's actually very easy in the Japanese version to get that skip. It's called Armlet Skip. It means we just basically skip the entire crypt dungeon, because there's a whole cutscene involving going into Mercator Castle, meeting the Duke of Mercator, and him basically saying, yeah, we need you to stop this evil tyrant who lives in this tower called Mir. And he's basically taxing the people. He's very evil. And so we're supposed to go here to stop him. And we just skipped that entire cutscene. We also did a little bit of a stair skip there. Wow, these mummies are actually lining. Hey, you get back there. Thank you. So normally we have to go up those stairs, fall down a hole, and end up back there. But you can actually clip right. If you do a nice corner jump, you can actually get right around that. And we have to hit that button in order for a bridge to appear right here. It allows us to continue.
If I'm processing this correctly, a minute ago you just said we're climbing this tower to fight an evil mayor because of taxation.
Yep. Oh, shoot. World's hardest jump coming up. Making it look easy. That is actually a really tough jump. The speedrunners of this game call that the world's toughest jump, and they don't lie. It actually is a really tough jump. I'm gonna grab
One of
this
those
seed
things
cake.
it's one of those things you're running the game and you miss it 7 times and you just look silly and then you get embarrassed and you miss it 7 more times.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
maybe
I've done that.
experience or anything.
I've done that. Okay, so this new controller has a start button that's kind of hard for me to hit, so I almost missed that. The item we got from the world's hardest jump was called Garlic, and we just ran into him ourselves. His name is Miro, and he hates garlic. All right, let's see if I can get this skip real quick. Nope. I'm going to clear them out, though. Get a little extra money. I do need about 600 gold by the time I get past Verla. I got enough e-geek, so we're going to try this again. There we go.
Heck yeah.
So we just skipped having to hit a button, going through a few rooms. I'm going to use another e-geek. And this, I need a lot of them here, because, again, this is Damage Boost Central. Once I get past here, it becomes a little safer, though. Excuse me. It is one.
So
And there we go.
I just reviewed my
Go
notes
ahead.
right quick. And so far, I have things that are frame perfect in this game, that one jump, and picking up dogs.
Yep, picking up dogs. Always a frame perfect trick. Including
Really
cats.
noted.
Alright, we're going to try damage boost through that. I managed to get it right. Normally, it would take 2 damage boosts, but if you actually turn around right as you get hit, not like that, though. You can actually kind of just go through it without taking a second hit. Also, unlike in the US version, they've actually fixed the hitboxes on a lot of these spike balls, which is why in the US version, if you try doing that trick in the mummy room that I was just in, you can't do it. There's actually a different mummy skip in that particular room. That's a key that we need. Okay, good. I actually got that. So I got a couple more rooms. So you're seeing these orcs catch on fire. Sometimes you'll see enemies catch on fire when I hit them. It means that I actually had a full charge on my sword, and that's the indicator that I have dealt the extra damage. There is an item called the gold statue, and you're going to see me actually picking up as many as possible. Because the gold statue, for a limited time, lets you have a full charge of your sword without it depleting. And what that does is basically means that you can deal double damage as long as you have that sword charge. That'll come in handy very late in the game when we have some really tough bosses and we are going in at a much... I'm scared of those unicorns. They're going to hit me. They always hit me. Gosh darn it. I've yet to figure out a way to get around them without them hitting me. Skeletons, away with you. Also my fan just fell over, so now I'm warm. I may have to take a second to adjust that.
So when you use gold statue for a limited time only, as much fire as you can handle.
Yep, and now here's Mir. We're just gonna do that to him. Excuse me, that's Miro, not Mir.
That's one of the jump and slash 5-time mini fights here.
Yep. So we actually come up on our first boss. This is Mir. Mir said, "Hey, welcome to my tower. How are you doing?" And Friday's like, "Stop taxing and being evil." So Mir's like, "Yeah, let's just fight."
Yes, you're taxing your people. Time to fight to the death.
Yep, and then you get him 5 times. That was actually a really good Mir fight. Mir says, "Yeah, I give up." And Friday makes her demands and to give us the jewel and to stop taxing the people. And he says the jewel's yours, but it's actually the Duke that's doing the evil doings. And he knows because Mir is the Duke's brother. So a little plot twist there. We learned the truth from Mir, and he gives us, and here's the purple jewel. And as soon as we grab that, we are out of Mir's tower and a full livestock count, or excuse me, a full e-geek count. I always get those two mixed up, and we're in actually pretty good shape, all things considered.
With all these heads in charge not talking to each other about who's doing what, this seems like a terrible place to be a city councilor in.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's what do you expect when when everybody's head can just be stood on? I kind of messed that one up. Let's do.
Also, shoutouts to the limitless palette swap enemies in this game.
Oh yeah, the palette swaps. The key thing of the '90s was like, yeah, we're just gonna change the color and it's completely different anime. But the thing is, they did that even since the early days of video games.
I mean, sometimes they still do it now, but that's a different story.
This is true. This is very true. All right, so Nigel's mad. You can tell by his walk cycle animation. He is mad at the Duke. He's like, we're gonna just march right up to this castle. And we're going to talk to this Duke and demand that he stop everything and ask why he lied to us and why did he send us on this this quest that we actually never really found out about. And the butler here is like, hey, you got the jewel. Let's go talk to the Duke now.
4 minutes ago, it was a cool, chill, breezy walk cycle, and now it's an angry walk cycle.
He's very angry. And so the Duke's like, ha, you have done the job well done. And now you are surrounded by his guards. And Duke's like, hey, you don't look so good. Maybe a beautiful woman will cheer you up. And yeah, we get Kayla again. Kayla is the name of this person who has been chasing us. She says that the Duke and her are going to find Nole's treasure and split it 50-50. However, the Duke literally pulled out the rug from under her and sent her to the dungeon. And the Duke then takes the purple and red jewels from you and throws you into the dungeon. Also, unlike Link, Nigel takes no fall damage. That's probably important to know. There is no fall damage in this game.
The knees of steel on this guy.
I know. These feet. And I'm not even wearing the iron boots yet. Alright. Oh, I'll do a little corner jump there to skip around this. I thought I was in the pot room for a second. So we got the pot room. And we're just going to stick these 1, 2. And we're supposed to put one at each corner. But, you know, if you just break it on that one and stay on the other one, then you're fine. And we're going to do... I'm going to actually heal up. Because spike balls can do up to 4 damage, I've noticed. And I don't want to do that. We got a little timer button here. And we're going to phase through that ball right there and just kind of skip right over it. Yeah, this dungeon, there's a couple of tricks that you can do to kind of to shorten the how long this dungeon is, but it's not really all that dangerous. There's actually 4 e-geeks you can grab. I missed that jump.
It's a very well-stocked dungeon.
It is a very well-stocked dungeon, and this is where I try to refill what I have, but I'm already at 8. I can use one up and then just grab 2 more. But I think I'm going to hold off. You know what? Let's just do it. Like I said, we're playing safe. We want to see that. I want to get through this so we can see that dog dungeon. Grab these 2. Also, whenever you open a chest... Grab these 2. Whenever you open a chest, you can actually... you can actually buffer your jump button out of it, so that as soon as the fanfare stops, if you're holding your B button, you'll jump. So there's a lot of, and you can also do that out of a screen transition. So like this, I'm holding the B button and I jump. So as long as you know that, you can actually save yourself a little bit of effort. I'm actually pretty good on money right now.
You said you need like what 600 for the rest of the run or something like that.
What was that?
You need a 600 for the rest of your shopping for the rest of the run.
Yeah, about 600. We'll have plenty of opportunity to get it. If I really need to, I'll grind a little, but I shouldn't need to. But I buy two more life stocks, and they're both 300 apiece. Although I technically don't need to, because I'm getting the extra life stocks from Dog Dungeon and Tree Dungeon. So I technically don't need to, but I may skip the Wizard's chest in Green Maze. And I'm definitely skipping the Spectre jump. But although I will try and show off Spectre skip a little bit later, but it's one that's like, it's RNG heavy, and I end up just skipping that chest anyway because it takes more time to try and get it right than it does to actually pick it up. But if you can get it like first try, then having that extra life stock is going to be very helpful. Also, that is Zach that we just ran into. He is kidnapping this princess, Princess Laura. Princess Laura is being taken off, grabbed by the head, and just flowed right off, and then she's just having the time of her life. And it's like, hey, are you registered with the FAA? Or something like that. And it's like, oh, she's kind of... So my cat, Taco, well, I always say Taco has one brain cell. Princess Laura there has one less than that. That's basically how special she is.
Everyone in this game is so happy.
Yes, even Nigel, when he's got his angry walk animation and confidence, he just seems happy. I mean, he's treasure hunting.
Are we in calm walk cycle or angry walk cycle right now?
Well, so he might be like panicking walk cycle right now, because what happened is the Duke has the jewels. He also has a lithograph now. He knows where the rest of the jewels are. He's on his way to get the treasures of King Nole. And on the way out, he broke the lighthouse. So we can't follow him even if we wanted to. He's sailing off on one of his ships. Let's see. I'm gonna try. Yep, one there. And okay, that was. Oh, I didn't actually get the kill. Shoot. I actually don't technically need to grab this, but there we go. 1 and 2. You need to kill both those wizards. They kind of show up at random. They are basically whiz robes at that point. They show up at random, and when you kill both of them, you get this life stock here. I technically didn't need to get that, but we're going to be a little overpowered for this, because, again, you all donated so generously for the other 2 dungeons that, coming out with 60 or 61 life stocks, I'm not complaining about that. So we're in Green Maze now, and the reason we're here is because the lighthouse that the Duke broke can only be fixed by an item called the Sunstone, which is in the heart of Green Maze. And by the heart, I mean the end. So, this is where the game really starts to ramp up with the confusion and the isometric crap that I like to call it at times. There we go. That's Einstein's Corner. Also, poor puppy. Friday says, this dog is hurt. Let me use one of your e-geeks to revive him. And we say, yes, we do, because happy dog is happy dog. We just saved the dog, everybody.
Let him go!
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't pet the dogs in this game, but we can throw dogs and we can revive them, and also we can be dog, and which we will all find out in Dog Dungeon. So, we rescued this dog. His name's Einstein, and the lumberjack here says, hey, your names are Nigel and Friday. And we're like, hey, do you work for the Duke? And they're like, no, the dog told me. So he hands us an item called the Einstein Whistle, which allows us to talk to dogs. Actually allows us to talk to any animal, I believe. I think the chickens can also be talked to. I don't know, I don't try talking to chickens. I feel they're a little overconfident.
I'm just raising my hands in anticipation for talking to dogs.
Yes, talking to dogs. So, that's gonna come in handy. Especially since we need that item in order to even open Dog Dungeon. Alright, so we got a little bit of combat here. This is actually probably a decent time to have a quick donation.
Sure. This is Power Up with Pride 2024 benefiting True Colors United. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ+ young people. You can donate by using !donate in chat, and if you'd like to check out the schedule, you can use !schedule.
Thank you so much, Alice. Yeah, so we got a really tight jump right here. Let's see if I can get it. Got it. That is frame perfect as well. That's a tough one.
So good.
If I miss it, it's a few seconds off. Also, for some reason, Kayla's in here now, and she's complaining because she's lost. I swear, this will be the last time we actually see her. Because if anyone's ever played this game, you get lost in Green Maze. I'm making this look easy because I know where to go.
Oh boy, howdy, I hope those evil treasure hunters get their comeuppance.
They're just gonna be stuck there forever. So, whenever I played this casually, when I saw this section here, there's also a hidden door back here, by the way. I'm just gonna grab the livestock. I don't need to grab the money. Also, I have a nice amount of gold right now. But
Good.
I know, I had to. So we got one more combat section here. So I'm actually doing. I'm kind of a little off right now because I normally come in here with 34 livestock, so I'm actually killing things a little bit quicker because I have extra health. And also, who would think that there's actually a hidden stairwell right there? There's so much isometric stuff that you can't see. You just kind of have to blindly jump around for. It gets frustrating. So anyways, we've reached the end of the Green Maze. There's the Sunstone. But however, there are trees there. And unfortunately, unlike before, we can't use tree removal glitch to get around it because there's no enemies for us to do. So we're going to actually use the Einstein's whistle. And also, the whistle says trans rights, everybody. And if you don't believe in trans rights, get out. That's all. I say that every time on my channel. If you're in my channel, why don't you support trans rights? So we use the whistle. The Einstein's like, I hear the whistle. Lumberjack's like, how do you know? Einstein says, I'm a dog. That's how I know. So he clears it out for us, and we get the Sunstone. Normally, this is where I'd go back through Green Maze, but because we actually met the incentive for Dog Dungeon, we're going this way. And this is an exit I normally don't take, and I actually haven't practiced all that much, but because you're all wonderful, we're going this direction instead.
I see we got a bunch of people coming in time just for Dog Dungeon.
Yes, Dog Dungeon, we're all hyped for that. I'm hyped for it, for sure. I'm actually going to try to kill Yellow Bubble. Yellow Bubbles actually drop... Gosh darn it, Orc, I was trying to get something out of it. Well, so much for that. Yellow Bubbles can drop gold statues, and so they do take a little extra effort to kill, but an extra gold statue is actually really nice to have. So we go through this way, and we come down here, and yeah, we're right back at the beginning of the game. So, in order to access Dog Dungeon, we have to go meet my dear friend, Belle the dog. You may remember Belle. I kind of rung her bell a couple times at the beginning of this. Now that we can actually talk to dogs, she says, yeah, there's a witch that turned me and my boyfriend into dogs, and she has him held up. Can you go save him? So...
Wait, can we... Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, let's go save the dog.
Can we talk about the day that person's having, like, a witch turned them into a dog, and then you picked up the dog and you threw them?
They are not having a good day now, are they? So that is why we have to do Tree Dungeon, because otherwise I would have had to go, walk through Gummy and do that whole thing again. And it just takes up more time than what that dungeon's worth. So, so we got one more thing we have to do before we go to Dog Dungeon, and that is we actually have to restore the lighthouse. Again, I actually technically don't need to grab these livestocks because I can still end up with 59, but, I'm force of habit. I'm just doing it now. I end up with 2 extra livestocks if I do Dog and Tree Dungeon, so... So I will say that while I have said that if something moves, you can stand on it, there is one exception to that, and it's this man here. Oh, actually, I might have messed that up. We'll see in a minute. Sorry, I kind of blinked on that one myself. So, yep, so if you actually come up the stairs and you stand... If you actually come up at the right spot and you stand up here, you can actually jump right through the old man. However, I was in the wrong spot. I'm like, I was hyping that up and I missed up the trick. Gosh darn it, Ari. So we got...
Oh, good.
That was a livestock there. So we're at 37. Again, we're at a +1 right now compared to my normal speed run. Which my PB right now, as of yesterday, day before. I don't think I played yesterday. Did I play yesterday? I don't remember. Every day's just running together now. No, I don't think I did because I went to get stuff to work on my TV stand. I do some woodworking in my spare time. I am dull.
Yeah,
So,
you only have like 73 hobbies, whatever.
you know what, Meh. So, no, Quagmire, get out of my way, please. So I got enough money to get through the rest of the game. We're gonna go to do Dog Dungeon now. So naturally, the witch lives in this swamp here. Shoutouts to Mini Ghost again. There we go. Damage boosting through. And we're picking up this pot here because we just have that over our head, and we don't even have any issues walking. We don't have any cumbrance or anything. Nigel's just insanely strong. So
yes, the good old day before weight limits were introduced or invented.
Yep. So the witch's hut is right here. And as soon as we enter, the dog Marty says, "Get out before it's too late." And the witch is like, "Haha, you're dog now." And so we're dog. Happy we are though.
Exact
I see no
translation,
problem. I can completely find the treasure of King Nole just like this. Perfectly, absolutely. No trouble whatsoever. I wish I could actually just I wish I could finish the game just as dog. Rando developers, if you're listening right now, make it happen. Make it dog only. Dog's invincible. So basically, all this dungeon is puzzle.
Yeah, it turns out, contrary to popular belief, dogs can actually hold swords very well.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people play Pokemon Sword. Dogs can hold swords.
He's barely holding the sword. Let's be honest.
I don't play Pokemon, so I've only seen pictures of him holding the sword. All right, so we're coming up on probably the hardest room in Dog Dungeon, the ballroom, and you can see we got to hit these buttons, and then we need to ride on these balls, and you can see they get a little bit faster. And I'm making it look easy though, so I actually could do that like really well at this point. Even the world record of all dungeons pushes the balls together to make it a little bit easier. It takes up a little bit of time, but it's like, hey, I got an advantage right there. Not that I'll ever get world record because Sagaz is like a god at this game. His time is still 5 minutes better than mine, and I'm third place. So yeah, that is a very tough room to get through. And we got a bunch of corner jumps here. Nothing too difficult. I just jinxed myself there. Nothing too difficult, and I jump right over the button. Good lord. I get the ballroom down very easily, and then what happens? I mess up the button room. The timer's really tight on it, so you have to forgive me. There we go.
You are forgiven.
Okay, I'm glad I'm forgiven. It's like, the ballroom's the hardest one. We have the platform room coming up, which is also a bit tricky, but it's not nearly as bad. I'm probably going to mess it up a time or two. Out of all the ones to mess up, I've never messed that one up, though. Alright, so we got one more puzzle, quote-unquote, to do in Dog Dungeon before we find the witch and, make her pay for what she's done. And in the meantime, we're still just happy dog. I mean, have you ever seen a happier dog in video games?
Right. But can you pet the dog?
Nope, you can't pet the dog in these games. You can only talk to them, you can only throw them, and revive them, and be them. That is it. So those platforms all fall as soon as you jump on them, so you get literally one shot to do it before you have to reset the room. Gosh darn it, Ari, you can do better than that. So, with all the puzzles done, which the witch did this to just kind of protect herself. So we're gonna go confront the witch now, except she paralyzes us, and she says, "Haha, I am now going to kill you. I just don't remember which button to press." So she presses that button, and yeah, she kind of did herself in on that one, and now we're not dog anymore.
Dies a very horribly violent death, if I can say so myself.
That
and that dog was smiling the whole time.
That is a very violent death, and the fact that, I mean, what kind of person has two buttons? One that will kill your enemy, and the other that will kill you. And why do you have that? Also, I'm gonna pick up that Moonstone, the Saturn Stone, and just because, you know what, I deserve it. So the Saturn Stone is a ring. Normally not too important, but what it does is it doubles the, it cuts the time that our sword takes to charge in half. So it's, as you can see, my sword's actually charging up a bit faster now. So I'll be able to do the the full strikes more often. But it's not even in a even in a speed run of all equipment. I normally don't grab that. Actually, excuse me, in all equipment I have to grab it, but I don't end up equipping it. That's what I was trying to say. But anyways, we're back on track of where this particular run goes. We restored the lighthouse. We're gonna go chase the Duke. And you know, we're gonna go find it. We're gonna get to the treasures before him. I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen. Yeah, there is one more ring later that we're not gonna pick up. Called the Venus Stone, and it cuts the time by a third. You know what? I want to buy a couple e-geeks while I'm here. They're cheaper. They're actually only 11. I'm gonna buy both. Actually, you know what? I only want to buy one. I'm just gonna steal this one. And you know what? I can't get past here. I'm just gonna jump on it and jump over the guy. Yeah, I don't really want to talk to him. So we're gonna talk to the captain here, and we're gonna be sailing to the new place. Also, a change in overworld music. We're jamming now.
Oh yeah, this song slaps.
Yes, it does.
Get your jam emotes out.
Yes, jam emotes. Also, Nigel just randomly standing on the captain's head now. He's like, yeah, that was a really good boat trip. And they're like, why are you standing on my head? Get off. And they kind of kick us off the boat. So this is the town of Verla. We're not even going to go visit it. The town of Verla has been overrun by the Duke's men. The people have been kidnapped and forced to work in Verla's mine. So naturally, we got to go save all those people, right?
Is the Duke also taxing these people?
No, he's just kidnapping them and making them work in the mine. You know, slave wages, which is right. So they're working in the mines that we're going to right now. I'm going to actually go ahead and use another e-geek right now. And basically,
Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, basically, we're kind of tasked normally to rescue these people. Slash there. And here's a little bit of a skip that probably not a lot of people know about. We're going to just do that and get up over there. Totally the intended solution. So, yeah, let's go rescue people.
I'm filling out my Nigel emotion sheet. Which walk cycle is this one?
I'm gonna say confused, no, the zero apathy. I'm gonna take a little bit of damage, and yeah, that's we're just gonna skip right through that. And we're leaving the mines. It's like, oh, good luck, people. Take care of yourself. I'm sure they're gonna be fine. So yeah, use the Japanese version. We can actually skip doing that. You can do it in the US version too, but you can't phase through the golem statues like that. You actually need to do what's called a gold bag jump, which is a really tight trick. And I can't do it, which is why I play Japanese version. Swag jump, by the way. And now we are on our way to Destal, but we're going to stop by here real quick. Just jump right into the wall there and end up in here. Gonna buy our other livestock, and we're just gonna try and run away with it. I probably should pay it. I'm gonna just toss it at his counter. It's like, hey, I want this. It's like, okay, here it is.
I've seen people shop like that at the grocery store, and it's actually really rude, not gonna lie.
It's like, yeet. Give me a gold statue, please. Nope, okay. So we're coming up into a section I dubbed Mushroom Hell. And it is... gray mushrooms are the worst enemy in the game. And I've actually been soft-locked here because of the gray mushrooms. It was a horrible experience. Please leave me alone. Okay, we made it through Mushroom Hell. Let's go. So, this is the town of Destal. The Duke hasn't really bothered them. There is a guy here with a treasure chest, though, and I'm just going to kick him in the head until he moves. I'm sure he'll move eventually. He's like, why are you kicking me in the head?
The Duke has not brought the evils of taxation to this town yet.
No,
This is the last sanctuary.
No, they're dwarves, so it's like, yeah, the only thing they have are like, pickaxes and shovels. You would think dwarves, have a mountain of gold. At least if, the Hobbit told me anything. So, the Duke has come through here, though. And he's on his way to the Lake Shrine, which is where the final jewel is. Which, for some reason, he found the others while we were gone. Also, I love the Duke's animation right there. He's just in a chair on a raft.
Like, what kind of safety gear is that?
I know, it's like, that is not OSHA regulation, I swear.
That's not any regulation. That's just terrible.
Not at all. So, yeah, we're chasing the Duke, so we're gonna climb this mountain. Wow, I never fall there. How many times have I, said never, done that, and then... so, yeah, the Duke just threw his chair out into the water. He's like, why am I even sitting in this?
You realize that chair made him look kind of dorky?
Yeah, it did. So, I can't get to the Lake Shrine from here.
Did you see that jump animation he just did?
Yeah! It's like, he's impressive. Also, just a little shortcut here. You can't even see it. And there's a doll here. And livestock on the other side, which you can't even see. But the doll... So, I haven't explained what dolls do, because I haven't had to use them yet. They're like e-geeks, except they heal you at 100%, but you have to use them manually. You can't actually use them. Friday actually cannot use them. So we're still trying to follow the Duke, and the only way to go to follow him now is to go through the Destil Well, or sometimes called the sewers. And because, of course, you can't really have a game without a sewer, especially if it's a Ninja Turtles game. Always an obligatory sewer level somewhere, and this is no exception. So this is where I have lost minutes, because this is a very dangerous level as far as my platforming is concerned. My PB that I got actually had a fall here, and I lost a good 45 seconds just trying to get back. So I know I could actually do a minute better. So we gotta get a bunch of keys in order to get through here. So we get those two. We're gonna do this little box room. Those little holes, we actually need to put these boxes in. And they're actually really tough to get into. So we're gonna do that, and we are just gonna be like Kobe Bryant for a little bit and just throw stuff. And, sink it. And there's a key for us. So with any luck, I am not going to fall. Any bless RNGs right now, which this has nothing to do with RNG. This has everything to do with Eri playing well. Also, some of these jumps may look scary, and just don't be fooled. I think I know what I'm doing. So we're gonna do this little corner jump right here. Okay, good. That's why I actually ran into that ball last time, and it knocked me into the pit. So we got past that part. However, we're not out of the woods yet. We still have a big pit here. These specters can just show up right as I'm jumping. And they've done it before. Showed up right in my path of jumping and knocked me right into the hole. So grab this doll here, buffer my jump on this platform, and jump across. So we're actually safe now. There's no risk of us falling down that hole. Why couldn't I have done that in my PB? Also, again, doors are suggestions. And we're going to do something called like a sneaky jump here. So I'm going to get right on this corner here. And I messed that up. I was not in the right spot. So you can actually skip, and I'll show it in the next room. That's actually a little dangerous. Yep, I'm dead. Yeah, it's a good thing I have only e-geeks, though. I got the wrong pixel. So it's tight. And I never missed that, so I don't know what happened there. Actually, I can't say I never missed it because I did miss it the other day. Again, doors are suggestions, and we're going to be showing that again here in a minute. So let's try it again. This is another room that will do the same thing. Jump right over it. And there we go. So we can actually skip that whole combat scene, and I could have done that in the last one, but unfortunately. This one, however, can't skip.
The second one, you just believed in yourself more, so it worked out.
Right. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use another E-Geek. And you, get your butts over here. Come on. There we go. Again, doors of suggestions. So everything I've been getting there are keys. And this is... I'm going to use an E-Geek here. I don't want to go into the next dungeon with too many E-Geeks because... Oh my god, don't put the pot there, Airy. That's not a good place to put it. This is actually a really tricky spot to be in. Jump that there, please. Okay, thank you. So this button, I need one of the monsters to press in order for that to happen. So we're gonna do that. And normally, so we're coming up on another boss. And normally, we could actually just skip it. Please get out of my way. However, for the sake of safety, I'm actually going to fight it. And it takes about 15-20 seconds. And we just kind of just sit here and do this number for a little bit.
Very
You know... Oh yeah, easy boss. However, if I mess my timing up, he can actually stun me. And the reason we kill him is so we can get the healing boots. The healing boots for, like, I believe it's every 32 steps you actually will restore 1 HP. So this will save us on E-Geeks, especially later on. Flashing screen warning. And I just had the healing statue. And we're at a Desto well, and we didn't even fall. How about that?
There you go. Love to see it.
We do love to see it. So we're coming up on one of the longer dungeons in the game. The Lake Shrine. Excuse me, now I got the hiccups. Gosh darn it.
Do we maybe have some time for some longer messages here?
Give me one moment. I do want to show off the Spectre Skip if I can actually hit it. So, basically there's a chest over on that side, and in order to actually get there, you actually need to line up a Spectre. And it isn't important right now, but I did want to kind of show it off. However, you can kind of see where it's a little annoying, which is why I never do it. But yeah, go right ahead and go ahead with the donation now.
Sure. So if you just joined us recently, you were watching Power Up with Bride 2024 here on Twitch. We're running June 13th through June 16th for about 16 hours a day, and we're benefiting True Colors United. To find out more about them, you can find the link to their site in the panels below the stream, or use !charity in chat. If you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in chat, find the schedule by using !schedule, or see the incentives with !incentives. Right now we have incentives open for Ultima 2, if you'd like to see us kill some Lords British. Because let's face it, Lord British has it coming, like all 3 of them, just, you know. And we also have a bunch of incentives open for Earthbound right now. So we have a whole bunch of polls for, like, naming the characters and deciding who saves the world, which sounds like an important decision to me. So if any of that sounds cool and interesting to you, check out the incentives page.
Flashing screen coming up as soon as I hit the statue again. So we're going to actually also pick up 2 items. They're both called Statues of Gaia, and what they do is when I use them, they create an earthquake, and they do basically double damage to any enemy on the screen. However, we actually need to use it in this room in order to freeze the lava here, and that will allow us to cross over and get to the Lake Shrine. Since the Duke bought all the rafts, and we couldn't follow him that way. These are the Duke's guards, and I have an itch on my back. So, this is Lake Shrine. This is one of the more complicated dungeons in the game, in my opinion. And we're going to skip most of it because, you know, doors of suggestions. So we're going to hit this button, and we're going to kind of line up over here, get hit by this golem, and just go right through. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Boom. Those golems doing their best Final Fantasy victory pose animation. I messed that one up. I actually technically don't need to get this one, but it's a neat trick, and I kind of want to just show it off. If I can actually hit it. Going across there like that, and it's all it is just getting a livestock. But it is required in a normal run. I got extra livestock, so I can just miss these. But, you know, I'm going to show off as many tricks as possible, because this is a really fun game and a really neat game to look out for. Get unlimited e-geeks here, which is why I say I don't want to go in with too many, because that e-geek, the last one I'm picking up, is actually important. Because it sets me up for this next trick, as long as the orcs cooperate. Thank you, orcs. So I can jump up here and jump right over the door. So we just get the good chunk right there. I got some falling platforms, and we're going to land right on that. That's a tough livestock to get unless you do it that way. Now we're coming up on the worm room, and I absolutely hate it. We got to actually come to it twice, but the first time... oh, you're cooperating. No, you're not cooperating, are you? There we go. Just jump on the worm's head. That's fine. No,
So before you entered the dungeon, you went to the area where you had to stop the flow of lava. If something happened and you didn't have your statues there, like you used them both outside or whatever, would you just be soft locked out of the game?
No. There is a shop nearby where you can buy them.
Okay.
So there is that option. I was trying to grab that statue, or that chest right there. That's a really tough one to grab. But on the way back, you can actually get it. Now I need the worms to cooperate. I need them to go into this hole and into the inside corners. Please. Okay, I was afraid both worms were going to end up in one. And I've had that happen before. And
There we go.
1, 2, and 3. We're good. We need those there. And once we hit that button, that door opens. We get a livestock, and we're able to go through. That is required because we need to come through this way. Those golems only circle once. And... there we go. I haven't been hitting that one very well lately, but hey, we're at the boss already. 3, 4, 5, 6. Come back down, thank you. And we get to fight the Duke finally, and he just gives up. I did it again. Yeah, it's not important. I've got some extra livestock, so that middle chest actually is a livestock. Normally you're supposed to go around and get underneath the left one, and then open that livestock one. It's not a big deal, because I do have extra livestocks from the 2 dungeons. So it's not going to affect anything. However, I have lost runs to that one before, because I've just lined up incorrectly. So Zach came, he attacked us, killed us, and Mir found us and teleported us back, and he gave us an item called Axe Magic. So what Axe Magic does is, you may have noticed every now and then there are trees that are a little discolored, a little off orange, like this one. With Axe Magic, you can just slash them, and without needing to use the tree removal glitch. And so we need that in order to get to the next area, which is called the Mountainous area. The Mountainous area is basically the last place we need to go to in order to get to King Nole's treasure. Because the Duke has everything now. He's got all the jewels. He knows where to go. He's on his way there right now. So normally we don't get that chest there. It's a gold statue. It's currently routed out where we get enough gold statues without needing to get that one. It's a little out of the way. But I do like that gold statue because it'll make the Zac fight a lot easier. Because we're actually coming up on probably one of the real first challenging bosses. I mean, Mir's challenging enough as it is because he moves around a lot, but I also probably should say I have not upgraded my armor in the entire game. I am still running on the leather breast, and it's very much... I'm taking a ton of damage.
So as we start to approach the final areas of the game, which walk cycle are we in now?
We are in the walk cycle of desperation. We are very much we're in a hurry. we don't want the Duke to get the treasures. We've worked our butts off to get these treasures, and it's like we know it's desperate now, and we also know that for some reason the Duke's going to use the money for evil because, hey, you know, that's what billionaires do, right?
A compelling
Also,
story.
another hidden livestock right here. I'm sorry, what was that?
I said a compelling story told by 12 frames of animation.
Right. So I'm gonna just basically try to avoid every fight that I can. And I'm not too worried about taking hits because I do have the healing boots. And again, I take so many steps and I will... Oh my god, it's Papyrus, get out of my way. And now we're in the mountainous area. So there's a couple scary spots in here, especially when I get up to the bridge. We're coming up to a bit of a lag room, so there's going to be a lot of sprites on screen. So I'm going to try to kill a couple enemies here to remove lag. Otherwise, it gets pretty laggy. Grab this livestock here. I keep wanting to say livestock, so it's like, yep, we're grabbing a cow. Let's go. We've already seen chickens. All the cows are just somehow fitting in those chests. So I have lost runs coming up to this too. So we actually have a bridge that's broken. We have to jump. We're stopped here with a little cutscene. Zach's like, yeah, this is it. I'm tired of following the Duke. I'm tired of this. I just get my revenge now. Friday's like, hey, this isn't fair. You have all the advantage up here. Let's have a fair fight. Zach's like, okay. So he's like, yeah, let's fight up here. So we're gonna go up here. And we're going to fight Zach. Actually, I'm going to do it without the gold statue, because I think this is a neat fight, if I can actually get it right without the gold statue. And of course, I mess it up. There we go. Got him.
That's nice.
It's a bit of a tough fight. Gold statue, I can do it in like one cycle. But I'll save that gold statue in the event that I run out, because that can happen. Or if I miss this jump, because that happens too. Okay, I didn't miss it. I'll grab this one. The other chest is an Iki, but I'm already capped out. Flashing screen. And so Zach gives us an item called the Eye of Gola, and this allows us to go to the next area, which might be familiar if you've been here since the very beginning of the game. This is the first dungeon that we were in. So we have to kill 4 wizards in order to open the door. We didn't have to do that at the beginning. This dungeon is now crawling with monsters. The Piccolo room's coming up. We dodge, because otherwise that skeleton can knock us right back into the previous room, and we have to kill those wizards again. So I call it the Piccolo room, because it reminds me to dodge. Oh my god, no. Alright, so that's what gray mushrooms can do. I've never had that happen. So I need to take a death because I don't have a mind repair. So I'm just gonna shout out to the mini ghosts again. They're just gonna eat me. Nom nom nom.
Wait, is this like a permanent status effect until you die?
Yep. The only status effect that's not permanent is poison, I believe. And yeah, gray mushrooms can paralyze. They can curse. If they curse you, you cannot use your sword until you die or go to a church to remove it. And they can paralyze, poison, curse, confuse. Confuse basically reverses the directions of your D-pad. And I, unfortunately, am not an impressive enough gamer to be able to play this game with reversed D-pad controls. So we're finally getting... Remember that boulder we just stopped? Well, it's there. We're walking over it now and getting that livestock. So, golems, please leave me alone. No! Leave me alone! I said leave me alone. Stop doing your Final Fantasy victory pose animations.
Oh, that's some crunchy slowdown right there.
That is. So we're going to move over here, let this golem come over here, and we're just going to go right to the door. Normally, we'd have to kill all those golems. Also, the Duke has the princess now. And in order to activate the portal of King Nole's, she has to sing a song. She refuses to do it, and then the Duke threatens to place a spider on her. And then she does it.
Oh, look at all of that orange. It's so annoying.
Big flashing screens.
Yes, lots of them.
And this is where if I'm on webcam, you can actually see the reflection on me as well. Unfortunately, I really wish there were ways to... I wish there was a patch that could just get rid of those flashing screens. And if it were, if the community would allow it to be played anyway, but it's like one of those things. This is what you get for playing 90s games and whatnot. You're gonna have flashing screens. It sucks. I hate it. And my viewers, I hate subjecting them to it. But, anyways, yeah, Friday and Princess Laura have a little bit of a fight because Princess Laura thinks that Nigel's a prince and it's here to rescue her when Friday's like, no, we just want money. We're here to get rich and basically eat the rich as well. We're just gonna get money. Also, the same flashing screens again. This should be one of the last ones, or last big ones anyway. We are gonna take a couple death abuses coming up, but
my name is Nigel. And I'm
what was that?
here to steal from the rich and give it to the me.
Yes, steal from the rich, give to the me. I love that one. This is now Nigel's. Basically, I'm in the money walk because he's like, I feel it. I'm gonna get money soon. So we're in the town of Kazald, and it's very eerie. There's not a lot here. There is a shop and there's a church and whatnot. But this is the last gateway to King Nole's palace and King Nole's labyrinth. So we're gonna have some jam time music. I love this music. We're gonna say hi to this bubble right here, and we're gonna have him. Please, we're gonna have him kill us so we can just go right through this door. And
victory.
Second verse, same as the first. And yeah, otherwise we would have to kill all those things. And, killing everything is just slow. So third verse, a little bit different. We can actually get these orcs over here and just go right through the door. And I got 6 e-geeks going into here. And I'm actually in a really good spot. And that is a doll. Nice. That is actually really good. I will take extra healing items. So we're going to go over here, kind of... And I missed that one. But I got that one. So, again, if it moves, you can stand on it. Nigel's feet don't care.
Nope.
No fall damage, only ball damage.
Meanwhile, I fall 2 feet off the hill and I feel it for days.
I fall 2 inches off or down the stairs and I'm like, ow. Alright, so we got some dark rooms here, and I actually have to turn the brightness up on my TV just to be able to see this. Because otherwise you have to try and find an item called Lantern, and nobody has time for that. That's a bit slow.
Dark rooms are meant to be cheated.
Yeah, I mean, again, inspiration for a certain Zelda game. So we're in a room here, we're gonna toss this. Wow, the bubbles are not cooperating. I've seen enough Trailer Park Boys to know Bubbles just doesn't cooperate. So now we have the skeleton room here. We need to kill 4 skeletons. And they take we're actually very under-leveled here. And from here, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna actually play that one again. I need to, at the pinnacle of my jump, I need to actually use the statue of Gaia. So there's actually a statue kind of in the upper left corner there. Okay, good, I heard it. And you can only hit it with a statue of Gaia, or the sword of Gaia, which is in this dungeon, but we're not going to get it. Or the sword of ice, which was in the lake shrine, which we don't get. I have actually lost runs to missing that and not actually, not hitting it. There is another statue of Gaia in here, but it's out of the way, and the sword of Gaia is even worse out of the way. The Sword of Gaia, basically, when your sword's fully charged, you unleash, basically, the Statue of Gaia effect. jump down here, grab this livestock. Do not forget to hit the button, Airy. You have lost runs to that before, too.
Just like walk up to the chest and walk away.
Yeah, I would walk right to the next room, and that button needs to be pressed in order for the block to fall in the next room. And if I go into the next room and come back, it resets the room, all the buttons and everything, and I have no more Statue of Gaia in order to make that available. So, yeah, it's a little not fun. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and use the last key that we've been saving. And we're going to go this way. So this is actually the not the intended way to go. We're going to do something called block skip. So there's a block right there. And we're going to just lure these two out here. I'm going to go ahead and use an e-geek, heal up a little bit. And we're going to try and lure these guys here. Wow, I actually got it really easily. We just got into the hitbox of that lizard man, and we can just phase right through that block.
That was smooth.
We're in block skip.
Smooth.
And we do that to get an extra livestock to make the next boss a little bit easier. And we also get it to get the spike shoes. Can I actually hit it? Okay, I actually hit it that time. I did have a setup at one point that was pretty reliable, and then I forgot it. I probably should practice that again. So that is the one pair of boots in this game that is required, is the spike shoes. We're going to go ahead and do this, and place that there. That'll open up that door. I got the night room coming up. We slash that one and just do another door skip. See if I can do this. Skip. No, of course I can't.
No.
I went to hit the button and I was like a couple frames too late. So now I have to do the walk of shame. So while I'm doing the walk of shame, if there is anything to say, now is a good time.
Sure. So we're benefiting True Colors United for this marathon. True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experiences of LGBTQ plus young people. LGBTQ plus young youth are 120% more likely to face homelessness than their peers, while Black youth are 83% and Latina youth are 33% more likely. True Colors United is guided by two core beliefs. Those who've experienced an issue firsthand hold the keys to the solution, and improving outcomes for the most impacted communities benefits everyone.
Thank you so much, Alice. These bubbles are not cooperating today. So, yeah, I tried to do there's actually a really tight corner jump back past that night room, and it saves a lot of time from having to wait from that platform. However, I missed it. I will have another opportunity to do it, but it's not something I can hit consistently. I don't like trying to. That was the other... I lost about another 25 seconds on my PB on that one as well. So this time we're going to go this way, which is where you're supposed to go first. We're going to jump here because there is a little switch that will make that block appear. If you hit it, the block's going to appear and you're going to kind of have to reset the room. Move that there. Come here, please. You two. Oh, no. Third one. Stay away, please. Okay, good, good. We only need these two buttons. We don't need the third one if that one's going to give us... You actually need to pick up the gold bags there in order for those buttons to spawn. So we're coming up on the first real challenging boss in the game. The Fire Elemental, or as I call him, the Fire Troll-Elemental. Because I'm going to get trolled. I'm going to grab these e-keeks for safety, and we're going to grab this doll down here. I do have a spare one from that ninja. And I'm actually going to go ahead and use this now, and we're going to hear a lot of clinging. So prepare your ears, everybody. So I'm going to set myself up right around here. And I'm a little too far, but we need the Fire Elemental. He's just going to shoot fireballs and jump from these four corners. And of course, he's just going to shoot fireballs. And we're going to kind of stay on this right side here. As long as we're around here and we can kind of jump on the same side that he is. Wow, he just kind of just took me for a ride. So I'm also continuously slashing, because as long as you're slashing, you can actually keep the gold statue power longer. And I do have an extra gold statue, but I'd rather not use it. And you can see right now we're just burning him each time. We're doing quite a bit of damage to him right now with the extra power. Pling pling. The cat jam's going on right now. So as long as I'm continually slashing, I can hold on to that power. However, the longer he trolls me, the harder it's going to be to keep that power. And if I die, it's going to be even worse. So please stop trolling me, Trollamental. There's a few bosses that can just troll you, and this is one of them. This is the first one that can just really be a troll to you.
I was gonna say, so far this attempt seems pretty, or the RNG in this one seems pretty average for this fight.
Yeah, I did have, because I'm at 59, which is normally what I would end the game with ideally, I was doing extra damage to him anyway.
Also, good job lighting that fire on fire. Excellent strategy.
Yes, this is literally the epitome of fight fire with fire. So we've got the first boss down, and we got an item called Gola's something or other. I don't remember what it was. I think it's a nail. I don't know. You have to get the 3 items of Gola. I better double check if I actually picked it up. I did. Okay. I was afraid, like, wait a second, did I not pick it up? Because if I did, I would have gotten all the way to the final door, and it wouldn't have opened. And I would have had to come back here, and that would have been embarrassing. So, we're gonna go back this way. My healing boots definitely paying dividends right now. So, in my former PBs, I've actually did get the healing boots. I also just realized something. I forgot to get the logs. So, that also would have been embarrassing. Normally, I'm supposed to get the logs at this point. In the needlessly winding corridor. As you can see, it is needlessly winding. And there's one tree here, and we get logs. The reason we went back and fell into that hole and talked to the dwarf in the first place is he's like, hey, yeah, my son is guarding the last tree in existence in this place, which isn't true, but he's like, yeah, talk to him and get some logs so you can go down this waterfall. Normally, before I fight the fire elemental, I'm supposed to get those logs. It saves a little bit of time, and my former PB did have that as well. Once you defeat the fire elemental, the block's actually gone, so I don't need to do block skip again. But as long as I get the logs, it's not a big deal. So we're gonna, because I want to try and do this trick, and try and get this jump, we're gonna try it again. And I'm probably going to end up with a spike ball in my head, because that's what happens. Grab this switch. Move it there. And there we go. Can the knight cooperate? Slash him there. I'm going to come over here. Get into his hitbox. There we go. And I actually hit that corner jump. That is a really tough jump. Alright, I'm going to put the spike boots on one more time. And we're going to go for a raft ride. Emily, you excited about the raft ride?
Always.
Always. So we get the logs, and one log creates a raft. Just magically have a raft show up. And, of course, we ride it over a waterfall.
Woodwork.
Because why not? Grabbing... I'm at a point where I don't need this many e-gigs, but this game could very well go sideways. Especially on the boss coming up. So we take the last log, come through here, and I'm gonna hug this corner right here. We meet Spinner. Spinner hurts. But if we kind of get him right in this corner right here, line him right up, we can just kind of bully him. Fighting him head on, he kind of likes to slash out and claw you, and he can one-shot me at this level. And... it's scary.
That just goes to show that Armored Armadillo is a pain in any game it's in.
Yeah, exactly. So I picked up the Hyper Breast, and I picked up a key. So the Hyper Breast is the strongest armor in the game, and we are going to use it because the final stretch of this game, the monsters just hit really hard. So I am sure it can be done without it, and it probably would save at least 5 to 10 seconds not getting it. But you have to play kind of spot on.
Also, I love that you got your first equipment upgrade a mere 92% of the way through the run or something like that.
Yeah, I mean there are other breasts that you can get in the game. for protection. There's the steel breast you can buy in Mercator. The chrome breast is in Verla Mines, and the shell breast is actually in Lake Shrine. So all places I've been, they were just always out of the way. I think I still have the... Yeah, I do. Okay. So now that we got the spike shoes, we can walk on snow. You need to come back here so I can just beat you up like that. And that is the last time I actually need snowshoes, so I'm actually going to go ahead and equip the healing boots now. And we're just going to use those the rest of the game. So we're actually coming up towards the end of King Nole's Labyrinth, so I'm sorry everyone, the best music in the game is about ready to end. And we got kind of another needlessly winding passage. A lot of really tight corner jumps that I'm going to make look very easy. I will say that this... Can I actually make it? Oh, no, I missed it. If I jumped a little bit higher before I grabbed the ladder, I can make that. But I at least had to try it. So, I will say I do play this on actual console because the controller is... This game was meant for a Genesis controller. I've played this on the Wii, I've played it on the Switch, I've played it on the Xbox 360, and getting some of these corner jumps it's not easy to do. I do need to kill these skeletons in order to open the door. Because unfortunately, I can't make them follow me to... Oh my god, he stabbed me right through the block. Can you believe it? I mean, it's Landstalker, I can believe it.
I also love that the skeletons have death cry even though they don't have lungs or a throat.
I mean, the bubbles have the same one, too.
It's amazing.
It is, everything screams in this game. So, I think I did grab that key. If not, it's not impossible to get past here. But it's actually quicker to just grab that last key. And that is the last one we actually need. There's actually going to be no more door skips. Oh, by the way, it's Miro again. And he's like, hey, I'm no longer afraid of garlic. Because you actually do pick up another garlic in here. We didn't because... Oh my god, wow, he actually fought back. You know, just know your place, Miro. Just stay right there. And we get the last piece of Gola. And now we're on our way to the final dungeon. Hype.
Let's get right in there.
Let's go. 4 golden statues, more than I need. I only need 3. But I do have a backup, so... this one's got a lot of really tight jumps, and one false move, and I'm going to be falling a long way. Grab this last one. So we're going to end up with 60, because I did miss the Lake Shrine one. We're going to do
Also,
a little skip here.
You can tell this is the final dungeon, because it is the most orange dungeon.
Oh, gosh darn it, Emily. So we're going to do a little bit of a damage boost right here through that. It can be done without doing that, but the corner jumps in those particular angles are really hard. I am going to concentrate here for a minute after I kill these lizard men because we have some really tough platforming coming up. So I will probably be quiet as soon as I get to the top of that ladder anyway, because I do need to carry this. Okay, it lined up. I'm playing it slow right now. Okay, we're fine. So,
Excellent.
If I fall, the whole cycle gets really out of whack and it takes a long time to fix. And that's probably the last hardest part anyway. And we wait in this next room. And jump over this button, come over here. We kill these knights. And we kind of need to do another sneaky jump right here, because if we actually go too far in, we actually activate those statued lizardmen. And then we don't have to fight them, but they definitely, I don't want to have to take damage from them. So the hard part of this is actually really over with now. We come up to the Golem Room, this is the reason alone why I actually play on console. Because otherwise, doing this is actually very difficult on any other console. Very easy on...
Clean now.
Oh, that came out very clean. We're just gonna take these, rate those, take that little damage boost.
Don't say it.
Not saying it. Not saying it.
Good. Alright, good.
Just taking it. And so we can kind of fall there. We can skip a few rooms by doing that. And we have no more real platforming to do, which is wonderful. We do have a little bit of a boss rush coming up. So we're going to meet our first friend, the statue. And we're going to go ahead and use our gold statue here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and then what we're going to do to keep the gold statue power, we're going to do just some jump slashes on the way to the next boss. And the next boss is our good friend Spinner, who's going to be a little bit tougher because we don't have a corner. I got him. So as long as you can kind of stay off to his side a little bit and kind of pin him against the wall, you can keep that gold sword or gold statue power and just wreck him. So we're at the final stages of the game. We have the 24 stairs, and I have counted them. I believe it is 24. Not sure why. And again, another needlessly long thing. I guess probably to make it. I think they did it so you at least get one loop of this music.
That adds the tension.
It does. And you can see all the gold there. We have reached King Nole's treasure. It's like, I mean, what could be guarding such a big treasure? Why not the king of the mountain, or the king under the mountain himself, King Nole? I sometimes call this guy King Troll. So he hits hard even with the Hyper Breast, and he just disappears. This is kind of like the inspiration for the Zelda 1 Ganon fight, because he just kind of shows up. So we're going to kind of stay out of line of sight, try to anyway, because he can actually swing his axe and shoot a beam, kind of like, hey, another game to this thing inspired. So we stay out of his way, and we want to try and keep jump slashes going. I do have an extra gold statue again, if in the event that... Wow, he is being very trolly. That was a 5 hit. Another 5 hit. We're actually... Stop trolling me. No, stop trolling me. I'm going to go ahead and use a doll here. I got a lot of healing, so I'm not too afraid of... I'm more afraid of my controller dying. Because that has happened during a run before. I get all the way up to the final boss, and the controller just dies. And that's when I had to go on a quest to get a new controller, and I was sad for a while. They didn't have a new controller. Finding a Genesis controller was actually tricky, but then I realized, hey, Retrobit actually made a bunch of Genesis controllers, and Nole's down. So, by the way, we were followed. You remember this guy? Yeah, it's a Duke. He said, hey, thanks for finding the treasure. I'm going to reward you. How about 20 gold? That's enough to buy a candy bar. However, Gola, the dragon, shows up and eats the rich. He even fries him for us first. And the Duke's dead. So we're going to get one quick swing on him. And we're going to try to find a sweet spot right here. One tail. So this is like the blue balls from Aghanim. One... We got one tail, so a tail swing stuns this, or shakes the screen. There we go, we're in the sweet spot. 2.
Alright, here we go, we're in the final boss. See if we can get a little tap going.
Yep.
Let's do it.
3.
Getting in there.
Yeah, so this is the final boss. We got 3 tails right now. I do count them out because, again, every tail is lost time. And if I'm actually on the ground when he shakes the screen, I am stunned, and he's going to give me what everyone calls Gold's Blessing, which is basically he's going to breathe fire on me. It actually hurts less than giving him a hug, but time will be coming up soon. What am I at? 4 or 5? I think it was 5. 6. And as long as we're in this spot, we're in pretty good shape. And the gold statue is going to help out. I have run out of gold statue power many times. 7. And 8. I've gotten anywhere from like 7 all the way up to, and that's going to be time.
Did it!
I've gotten anywhere from like 7 all the way up to like 15 or 16 stuns, and once it gets past 10 stuns, you end up starting to lose gold statue power, and then you have to fight him without that, and you're only dealing half damage at that point, and it just becomes the fight just drags out. So yeah, you are rewarded with King Nole's treasure. And congratulations, we have eaten the rich, and now we could rob from the rich and give to the me at that point.
Give to me. That's what
Give
we're
to
here
the
for,
me. Heck
baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that is Landstalker, The Legend of King Nole. A really fun game to play if you can get over the isometrics. It actually wasn't as hard to learn as I thought. The Japanese version's very friendly. A lot of the skips are the door skips actually aren't as hard as they look. You just kind of get in the hitbox of an enemy and just force your way in the other direction. The US version is actually a lot harder and a lot slower to run because of it. Emily, is there anything you want to add before we sign off?
I am so not prepared for this, but thanks everyone for watching. An excellent run here by Ariana, raising money for a great cause, and also Nigel is still a terrible name for a hero.
Nigel is a terrible name. I want to give shout outs to Queen Peels, my wonderful girlfriend, who I'm sure was watching this entire time. Yeah, I see that she was. I've been through a lot of my rough time for the last year or something. She's always been the rock for me, and I couldn't do anything without her. So love you, hon. I hope that I hope you're ready for cuddles pretty soon, because I'm tired. Also, shout outs to RPG Valkyries, a wonderful community that I'm a part of. Shout outs to the Fantasy Star 4 randomizer community. Shout outs to Poorly Drawn Bees for being a wonderful friend and an amazing commentator. This was a lot of fun to do with you.
I was rooting against you the whole time.
Of course you were. I wouldn't have put it past. I wouldn't have expected anything less from you. And of course, shout outs to Alice Rajasu for a wonderful hosting job, and Power Up with Pride for having me on here and allowing me to demonstrate this while we're also raising money for a good cause. We got the dog dungeon. Who would have thought? I appreciate everyone for their donation, their time, and for watching me on this. I hope you were all as entertained as I was on this, and I hope you all continue to be entertained with Power Up with Pride. Thank you so much. I hope to see you all again soon.
Night, everyone.
All right. Thank you both. You're both awesome. Thank you, everyone, for helping us meet that dog dungeon incentive. We're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to be signing off. And we're going to have the Red Lantern coming up. So stick around. Hello, everyone. That is once again going to be it for me for my hosting in this event. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for watching. I am Alice Rajasu. I don't stream much, but you can find me at Alice Rajasu in places. Some places I'm just Rajasu, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be turning things over to the wonderful Scala Kitty here, so yeah. Scala, it's all yours.
Alice, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Hello to all of my fabulous friends out there watching from around of the world. This is Power Up with Pride 2024. I'm your host for the next few games, Scala Kitty, Z here pronouns if you please. I hope you all are ready for just such a fun batch of games to round out the night. First up, we have The Red Lantern by Mango, and if you've not seen this game, I know, chat, you really came through with the dog dungeon incentive for our last game. I hope you all are really ready for more dogs. I hope so, chat, because there will be more dogs very, very soon. But I will also remind you all that we do have, for the game afterwards, Ultima 2, Revenge of the Enchantress, we do have an incentive to, follow the true Ultima tradition and kill Lord British. And we will not kill but a single Lord British. We can kill up to 3 Lords British if you so choose, chat. So, if you would like to, I will go ahead. I will drop the donate link in chat. You have those incentives along with a whole collection of polls for the names of our party and our the one who shall save the world for Earthbound PK Scramble. So you have a lot of really good options to put your money towards as we continue to raise funds for True Colors United and their absolutely admirable mission to try and bring an end to LGBTQ youth homelessness. We're going to be finishing up, setting up for the Red Lantern in just a moment, and we'll be back very soon.